If your income has gone up over the last few years, but your financial life still feels a little scattered, this video is for you. Maybe you're earning more than you ever have. Maybe you have a good job, bonuses, equity compensation, 401k, savings account, maybe an old retirement account or two even. But when you step back and ask, do I actually have a plan? The honest answer might be, not really. Hey everybody, I'm Clayton Boone with World Investment Advisors, and that situation is more common than you might think. A lot of high-income households are not struggling because they lack income. They're struggling because the income has grown faster than the structure around it. More money comes in, more accounts get opened, more expenses creep in, more decisions pile up, and eventually you have financial activity, but not necessarily financial direction. So where do you start? You start by getting organized, not by chasing the perfect investment, not by trying to make one massive financial decision, not by assuming you need to overhaul everything overnight. You start with clarity, because without clarity, it's hard to know whether you're on track, behind, or just simply disorganized. The first place to look is your accounts. Most people have more accounts than they realize. There may be checking accounts, savings accounts, 401k, an old 401k, IRAs, brokerage, HSAs, stock plans, credit cards, mortgages, student loans, and other debt. None of these are bad on their own. The problem is when no one has looked at how they all fit together. So the first step is creating a simple inventory. What accounts do you have? Where are they held? What are they for? How are they invested? Who's listed as a beneficiary? Are there old accounts that need attention? Are there accounts serving maybe the same purpose? Are there accounts that are just flat out being ignored? I know this sounds basic, but it matters. A financial plan is hard to build when the pieces are scattered all over the table. So once you understand what you own and what you owe, the next step is cash flow. And for high income earners, this is usually where the biggest surprises show up, because strong income can hide a lot of inefficiency. You may be saving some, you may be spending some, you may be investing some, but do you actually know the percentage? Do you know just how much of your income is going toward taxes, lifestyle, debt, savings, and long-term investment? That's the part that often gets blurry. And the goal here is not to shame spending. The goal is to make sure your money is going where you actually want it to go. There's a big difference between spending intentionally and wondering where it all went. A good starting point is to look at your monthly income and ask these 4 questions. How much is going to fixed expenses? How much is going to lifestyle spending? How much is going to debt repayment? And how much is going to savings and investments? For many high-income households, the issue is not one big mistake. It's death by 1,000 small leaks: subscriptions, upgraded cars, travel, private school, dining out, and convenience spending. Lifestyle creep is real, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means your plan needs to catch up with your income. After cash flow, the next question is savings targets. This is where a lot of people get stuck because they ask, how much should I be saving? Well, the answer depends on your goals, your age, your assets, your income, your expected retirement timeline, and the lifestyle you want to support. But as a general planning conversation, many high-income households should at least be asking whether they are saving somewhere in the range of 15 to 20% of gross income. Now, that can include your 401k contributions, employer match, profit sharing, HSA contributions, IRA, taxable investments, and other long-term savings. That number is not a rule for everyone. It's really a starting point for discussion. Some people need more, some people are okay with less. But if your income is strong and your savings rate is low, that gap deserves attention. And one of the most powerful moves you can make is to automate as much of this as possible. Your 401k, your HSA, your brokerage account, your emergency fund, your debt payments. The more your plan runs in the background, the less you have to rely on willpower. Because willpower is great until life gets busy. And life is always busy. So once your accounts and cash flow are organized, the next step is prioritization. This is where planning becomes more than just numbers, because most high-income households have multiple goals competing for attention. You may want to retire early, buy a second home, pay for college, help your parents, reduce taxes, protect your family, exercise stock options, or build wealth outside of your retirement plan, as well as pay down debt, or simply feel like you're not wasting the opportunity your income has created. The challenge is that you probably can't maximize everything at once. That's why priorities matter. A good financial plan helps answer, what should we do first? Should you build more cash reserves? Increase retirement contributions? Use a health savings account? Pay down debt? Invest in a taxable account? Review your insurance? Update estate documents? Evaluate old retirement accounts? As you can see, there's not one universal answer, but there is usually a right next step. And that's what planning is designed to identify. The one important thing to remember is this: higher income does not automatically create financial confidence. Structure does. You can make a great income and still feel uncertain. You can have a lot of accounts and still lack direction. You can be saving money and still not know whether it is enough. The goal is to turn financial motion into financial progress. So if you're a high income earner and you feel like your planning is lagging behind your income, start here. Organize your accounts, understand your cash flow, define your savings targets, clarify your priorities, then build a plan that connects all of those pieces. Because the sooner you bring structure to your financial life, the more intentional your decisions can become. And you don't have to wait until everything feels complicated to get started. In fact, that's usually the best time to start, before the decisions get bigger, before the accounts get messier, before retirement feels closer than expected, and before taxes, equity compensation, college planning, insurance, and estate planning all start competing for attention at the same time. If you'd like help reviewing where you stand, our team can walk through your accounts, cash flow, your saving strategy, and priorities with you. You can use the link or the QR code on the screen to book a meeting with our team. We'll help you identify what's organized, what may need some attention, and what your next steps could be. As always, thanks for watching.